The first performances of the Nutcracker were in 2019, where we first did the full performance. And then in 2020 we couldn't do it because of COVID. And in 2021 we had to do a scale back production. So we've gone back to the full scale production in 2022, 2023, 2024, and now this year, 2025.
And why did you choose to showcase the Nutcracker?
Well, so I've been in the ballet world for a very long time. When I was a child, I used to sing in the Nutcracker in London in the festival hall. And then I became a full-time ballet student, and then I became a professional ballet dancer, and I danced in the Nutcracker myself with 2 companies. And if you're in the ballet world, what you know is that the Nutcracker is very popular at Christmas, probably because it's all about Christmas. It's got Christmas trees and presents and snow and magic, so audiences love it at Christmas because it makes them feel Christmassy. So I chose to do the Nutcracker here in Wales because there had never ever been a full-scale production of the Nutcracker in Wales. There just wasn't one. And there was one all over the rest of the UK and all throughout the world, but there wasn't one in Wales. So I thought, well, I'll use my professional background, but also all my links with the community to make a special Nutcracker made in Wales, and that's why I chose it.
And what's your ballet background?
Okay, so I touched on it a bit there, didn't I? So I went to ballet classes from when I was 3, but it was actually singing in the Nutcracker, being in the choir and watching the dancers on stage really inspired me, and I thought I'd like to be one of those. So I started to work really hard in my classes. And when I was 16, I went to train full-time. I trained at Central School of Ballet, and just before I finished my 3 years there, I got offered a contract with a company in Germany. It's called the Bayerische Staatsballett. That means the Bavarian State Ballet in Munich, which is the capital of Bavaria in the south of Germany. And I stayed there for 3 years, and I danced in all the ballets, all the ones you've ever heard of: Swan Lake, Sleeping Beauty, Nutcracker, Giselle, Romeo and Juliet, Coppelia, all of those ballets. I've danced in all of those. And after 3 years, I came back to the United Kingdom and I joined London City Ballet, which was based at Sadler's Wells in London, but we toured all over the UK, and we used to do 7 or 8 performances every week for 42 weeks of the year. So we used to do about 240 shows a year, and then I did more classical ballets with them. So I danced with them for another 4 years, and then I decided to stop dancing and have a bit of a normal life for a bit and have a family and move to Brecon.
Wow, and when do you start preparing for the Nutcracker?
What do you mean, every year that we do it here? Well, I never stop, Beth, is the truth. We start rehearsals, don't we, in September, with auditions for this year's cast, and then we rehearse all the way through. But the truth is, in fact, today I've spent 3 hours on the computer emailing professional dancers to get them to sign contracts. So actually, I spend the whole of January hand washing costumes, and then we do grant applications. We have to organise accommodation, minibus, we have to contract dancers, we have to have a contract with the theatre. So the work goes on all year round just to do a whole weekend of performances. The reason it takes so much time is it's such a big production. We have, something like 80 dancers on stage, 14 in the choir, 30 in the orchestra, and then we've got all the backstage crew. We have to get all the chaperones licenses and DBS checks. There's such a big amount of work to be done. So the truth is, the work never stops.
And what sort of work do you have to do to put on the Nutcracker that other people might not realise?
Well, I think I've just answered that one, haven't I? The truth is, 2 years ago, I noted down how many hours I do for Brecon Festival Ballet, which I do for free. I do it as a charity donation. I don't get paid for it. And it turned out to be, it was over 1,000 hours. It was something like 43 full days of work in the year. What do I have to do? It's about between 2 and 4 hours a day, most days of the year, so that the show can happen. Oh
Wow.
no, it's a lot.
It is
It's a lot. But you know, it's the same with most jobs. Most jobs involve things behind the scenes that other people don't realise. But I think in theatre it's more than anything, because what you see is the performance, and what you don't see is all the preparation and organisation that leads to the performance.
Yeah. And what is the hardest part of showcasing the Nutcracker?
What's the hardest part? I suppose normally if you saw a production of this size, the company doing that would have 4 to 6 weeks to get everyone in rehearsing. We have just over 1 week, don't we, in December?
Yeah.
So I rehearse with all the children and the community cast every Sunday in the autumn. I have the professional dancers for 3 or 4 days in the autumn. But in December, it's the only time where we get everyone together. And we only get the orchestra the day before opening night, don't we?
Yeah.
Because it's very expensive to pay for professional musicians, so we can only afford to bring them in the day before. And we only get our professional dancers about 4 or 5 days before that. So I think the hardest thing is getting all the pieces of the puzzle together to make the Nutcracker puzzle on time for the Friday night. But we do it because we've got a brilliant team of helpers. Lots and lots of volunteers. And also I think that we rehearse very hard, don't we, with the children and the community. So by the time we get to that production week, you all know what you're doing. Nobody's still learning anything. Everybody knows exactly what they're doing. So you can go, right, now you do this and you do that, and everybody will do what they're supposed to do. But it is a challenge every year.
Yeah. And why did you want to teach ballet?
The truth is I didn't.
Really?
I didn't want to, no. When I stopped being a professional ballet dancer, I stopped being a dancer altogether. I threw away my point shoes, we moved to Brecon, and I had 3 young children, and I was a full-time mum for about 9 years. So I didn't do any ballet for about 9 years.
Wow.
I know, it was a long break, and I didn't think I was going to do it again. But 2 things happened. One, I realised there was a lovely theatre here. And we're very, very lucky, aren't we? We've got a lovely big studio here, got a lovely big stage there, and we've got a community that likes to dance. But the other thing that was, my daughter, my eldest of my 3 children, she wanted to start to learn ballet. So I started to teach her, and then I started to teach her friends. And then I spoke to Mrs. Walker, who runs Midwell Dance Academy, and said, shall we work together? And she said yes, and then I started teaching here. And it kind of, it grew and grew and grew, and I never thought I would end up as a teacher. But I've been teaching ballet, well, here for 20 years now, and you know, 25 of my former students have gone on to train full-time as professionals. So that's very exciting, and I do find it very rewarding. I love to watch children's progress, people like you, who start very young, and then you can see that they're getting better and better as they go on, and that's a really lovely thing to do. So even though I never meant to do it in the first place, it's something I ended up enjoying a lot.
And lastly, what is your favourite part about showcasing the Nutcracker?
Ooh, my favourite part. Do you mean of the whole experience or of the ballet itself?
Like, probably the whole experience.
What's my favourite thing? My favourite thing is listening to the audience reaction. Because sometimes people go to see a ballet and they don't really understand what it's about, and they think it's very good, but they don't quite understand it. But what happens a lot with our production is I hear people who never thought they would enjoy a ballet say, oh, I really liked that. My favourite example was, after the first year of the Nutcracker, I was stopped in the street by a farmer, and he said to me, I saw your ballet last week and I didn't want to come and see it, my wife made me see it. And he said, and I wasn't expecting that, I really loved it, and I must have had a bit of dust in my eye because I found myself crying a little bit. So that was lovely for me, and I think when you see a happy audience, it makes you feel that you've done a good job. So I think that's the most rewarding part of the production of the year. Is that all your questions?
Yeah.
They're very good questions.
Well, thank you.
Is that enough? Is that all the
Yeah.
information you want?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you.